With the A2 set now fully underway in Pokemon TCG Pocket, myself and fans alike have started to notice one particular deck variation that has been getting insane amounts of use, that being Darkrai EX. For a 140 HP EX Pokemon and a single 80 damage attack, you'd be under the impression that it's an underperforming card, but matched with the likes of Spiritomb and Cyrus, along with its Nightmare Aura ability, you have yourself a rather formidable deck that can allow the player to pull any opponent's benched Pokemon to the active spot. Another popular deck is Darkrai EX and Magnezone, in which Magneton can passively gain 1 electric energy per turn, which syncs well with Darkrai's ability to attack from the bench. The attack has infamously been dubbed as this set's most annoying deck archetype, with Celebi EX being Mythical Islands and Mewtwo EX being Genetic Apexes. And fans are right to place it so, as in recent tournaments, some claim the win rate of Darkrai ranges between 55% to 65%. Although as of recording, there aren't many reported matchup data to go on, and Pokemon Pocket data analysts, such as OA, are still conducting their research. But even before that data becomes public, during the largest tournament tour that consisted of 950 players, 7 of the top 8 decks used were Darkrai EX decks. According to social media, such as the likes of the TCG Pocket subreddit, many fans have expressed their frustration, although that has come with a fair bit of backlash. Primarily because other fans believe the frustration comes from there being more than one strategy now to turn the tables to a win, whereas during the A1 set it was more about hoping that the opponent wouldn't pull a Sabrina or Giovanni next turn. This reasoning is also accompanied with the fact that the new set has only been out for a week or so, and counter decks are still being figured out, much like the Primeape and Aerodactyl decks we saw emerge during the rise of Gyarados EX last month. Currently, the meta is in a slight disarray as we transition back from aggro decks to stall decks once again, and perhaps this is a pattern we'll see more often with Pokemon TCG Pocket. As more sets come out, stall decks become popular as those are the easiest to discover and figure out, and counter decks with more aggro are created as a response. The game clearly tried to introduce an update to Blaine's aggro style of decks with the likes of Infernape EX. But with a stage 2 requirement to reach Flare Blitz, it seems people are still figuring out where the monkey can fit within the meta. But back to Darkrai EX, with the ability of consistent sustainable damage output whilst stalling, the most commonplace bench attackers, such as the likes of Hitmonlee, just aren't sustainable any longer. And it's clear an immediate counter hasn't been found yet, besides the use of other very powerful decks like Palkia EX, which helps reduce Darkrai's win rate to a more modest 53%. I suppose the overall complaint right now is that literally no other existing deck is sustaining against this archetype. The likes of Gardevoir Mewtwo EX decks and Golem/Druddigon decks served as a perfect 50% win rate and would be used to gauge a deck's overall effectiveness, as shown by this data. Neither of those decks are successfully competing against Darkrai as of this moment, and I suppose this is what's driving the scrambling of finding better decks or counters. In my personal opinion, we've yet to see the potential in Lucario. His ability, Fighting Coach, which adds an additional 20 damage to each fighting Pokemon's attacks, is very impressive and harbours vast potential, especially how it can stack. But grass decks, which are what most darkness types are weak to, are in a very sorry state right now, which is likely contributing to Darkrai EX's success at the moment. Despite Venusaur EX's impressive health pool, healing, and potential for 210 HP, which should be a counter for Darkrai, its weak attacks and generally poor performance against many other standard decks out there, the solution cannot be found in that deck as of right now. So to conclude, it's looking like Darkrai EX and its incredibly high play percentage is here to stay. I don't see counter decks being available until another week or two, and if they don't come, I wouldn't be surprised if the A2A mini set coming in March will change that. But what has your experience been with Darkrai decks, mainly playing with them or against them? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, especially if I've missed out on any other decks. And if you would like another deck review like this one on a other particular deck, let me know that one in the comments as well. But besides that, if you want to watch another Pokemon video, you can check out this one appearing on the end screen now.